Hi everybody, it's Angela, and I just wanted to do a quick card share. These are Easter cards, and I want to get them mailed out this week. And I looked through my stamps before I made my cards, and I pulled out all my Easter stuff. And I have this Easter stamp that I got from Tuesday morning, and it's a TPC Studio stamp, and it's really cute. And I love this little bunny here. I used him on some of the cards. And then I got these three here recently from Michael's and some Easter stamps, and I thought this little chick with the bunny ears was super cute. And so I had picked those up from the $1.50 bins or whatever they are now. And then from Joann's I had these two little stamps, Studio G stamps. And so that's what I had to work with. And I wanted to emboss the stamped images. And what I did learn, I had asked Nicole at Scrapology about how I was getting kind of a bad stamped image. It was, the ink was kind of beating up on the surface of the stamp, and she said one thing you could do to help that was to use like a Versamark or a glue pad or something like that to help take off the slick surface that's originally on the stamp, probably from the release agent that they use in the mold. And so I decided to try embossing with these first, and I've found that when I do that and use the Versamark pad and then emboss and stuff, after that my stamps are giving me a really good clear impression. So thank you so much, Nicole, for your input and stuff on that. I'm doing a lot better with my stamping. So anyhow, I wanted to emboss, and I don't have many embossing powders. I have, you know, like bright red and black and a couple others that are like super bright, and it wasn't what I was going for. So I had this one. Looks like a Ranger product, and it's the gray, and it's like a puffy, it puffs up. And I wasn't too happy with it for this application, but it was the best one I had. And so I used this for all my embossing, and because it was gray, I kind of went with the silver. I got these at Tuesday Morning, some of the American Crafts inks, and I really like it, and this one's in the silver. And I also had my Spring Green Studio G, and then I had a silver marker. So I think that's pretty much the supplies. Oh, and I used a little bit of this new, in the $1.50 bins at Michael's, I used some of this yellow trim. And so let me show the first card that I did. And I used this with my Spellbinders labels die, and cut a white one, and then I hand cut the green one, and then I cut another of the yellow ones. And I used that cute little chick with the bunny ears and embossed him with the gray puff embossing powder. So he has a little bit of, you know, dimension to him. And I would have loved it if the chicks had all been facing him, coming this direction, you know, like following him in a little line. But the stamps weren't facing that way. And that's one thing I do love about digital stamps, is that you can flip the image on your computer. But so what I did was I took the little chicks and I just put a post-it note over and inked up this side to do these three chicks. And then I cleaned it off and put the post-it this way to ink it up to stamp these other two chicks so that he's in the center of it. So that turned out really good. And I was going to use my Happy Easter stamp from here, but it seemed a little too small, so I used the Happy Easter from the TPC Studio stamps, and then the green Studio G ink. And then on the inside, I just did the stamp as it is originally, and just some more of the paper. And these papers are really old ones. They're from this hot off the press personal shopper kit from 2006. I didn't get it in 2006. They were like clearancing, or they had a sale on some of their old personal shopper kits, and so I had picked up a few. And I used some of these patterns here, and then some of this green here. And that's one thing about Paper Wishes, is their papers work great for cards. Not as well for scrapbooking because they're just thinner stock and they're only single-sided usually. But for cards, they work awesome. So so this is the first one, and then the next two are quite similar. I did this. This is the stamp from TPC Studio, and with a little flower, and then the Hoppy and Easter come from this little Studio G. And I did cut the Hoppy and Easter apart just so I could place them wherever I wanted on the page. And oh, and I didn't mention on the other one and this one, I colored the images in with colored pencil. So that's what I used to color that in. And I just used the silver ink, put a few little enamel dots in the corner. And this paper is this one, which is from My Mind's Eye. And it's the Tres Jolie, I think it is. And so I used both sides, the pink solid and the patterned. And then I used my Martha Stewart punch just to punch a few little butterflies to put on there. And then I just put the flowers across and put another little butterfly. There's the Michaels trim and some more paper on the inside. So that was this one. And on this I covered up, it comes as a row of flowers, but I covered all these flowers up and just did the one on the front, and then I did all of them on the inside. And this again is embossed. And then the last one I used the same little image because I'd stamped it twice, and it turned out I just had done it on pink. And so I did the same thing, except I used this other sentiment and then just colored it with my colored pencils, put some more butterflies, some more enamel dots, and then on the inside I just have the flowers again with a little butterfly. So really simple cards and really straightforward. I love some of the little images that are out there in the stores right now, and they're very inexpensive, and I had a great time making these. So if you have any questions or anything, just leave me a comment below, and thanks so much for watching, guys. Talk to you later. Bye.